They like working for him. I'm afraid of ghosts.
Blowing in the Wind by Bob Dylan. We gotta stop this racist asshole Trump.
What's up, Easter Bunny? Dot us for Bernie. All right. Got a definite art movement going on here. Oh, you got more. I think the post, you know, Ben Franklin was the postmaster general. I think the post office could use a little meth, get things going a little faster, I think. All right, so tell me, what do you prefer in your safe space, puppies or kittens?
Kittens.
You prefer kittens? All right. What about you, puppies or kittens in your safe space?
Kittens.
Kittens? 2 for kittens. All right, that's pretty good. All right, what do you prefer in your safe space, puppies or kittens?
Both.
You like both?
Yeah, both.
You know, either way. How about you?
Both. If I can have both, yeah. Right. That's the way to go. Right? Puppies and kittens, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
So I think you're not quite in the market over here.
Oh, I'm in the market here.
Yeah.
I'm in the right place.
I think you need about 10 feet that way.
Oh, no. I'm good right here. Prime location.
How's business been?
It's marginal. It's hit and miss.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I see you got some good stuff. You got the Don't Tread on Me flag.
Of course.
A lot of Make America Great Again.
That's
stuff.
for everybody.
How many events have you been to?
Probably about 10.
10?
Yeah.
And in terms of crowds versus protesters, how does this rate?
This is actually the first one I've been to that had protesters. I took a couple weeks off, and it just started.
So yeah, you missed. I guess the protest started kicking off in St. Louis.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't there. My boss was there. I didn't go. Yeah, I'm not real big on that.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Have a good one. So tell me about your sign.
My sign is how Donald Trump expresses himself with hate against not only blacks, but varying religious groups, women, and he needs to be constructive, and he isn't. And I think it's because he's uninformed. He uses generalities instead of specifics about his policies, and I think he's very dangerous. You know, history does repeat itself. History does, and his ways of stirring up people's emotions is so similar to Hitler's. I'm terrified. I'm 70 years old, and I'm close in time to the Second World War. Unfortunately, there's too many people who've forgotten. Too many people who've forgotten.
So are you happy with the current status quo? What's going on in our country?
I think it's improved from when we were in the Iraqi war. I think there's some improvement economically, and I'm not happy with the racism that's coming up with the police, how that's been allowed. But I think if we go with Trump, we'll be going in down a very, very scary road where we really physically have to protect ourselves. I felt intimidated coming here today. I was here as a protester in the Bush rally in '04, and I wasn't afraid. I disagreed with him, but I wasn't afraid. There's so much hate that I'm actually afraid today.
So you're seeing hate from these people over here?
No, hate from, I've seen on TV how the Trump police escort or Trump, whatever they're called, punch people out just because they disagree. And that's so wrong. It's so wrong. I should be able to say, hey, you guys, this is what I think. And I can't because I'm afraid. Now multiply that if he gets into the White House, how people will really feel and how they'll really be. I know I sound like I'm soap operaing, but I'm telling you the truth. He scares me.
Well, what I'm seeing also is from the left, people are saying, well, if you don't agree with us, then you're also racist and you're also this and that. And that to me also seems a little hateful and intolerant.
No, I'm not saying, I'm saying that everybody should be able to practice their religions, their faiths. I don't agree with all of the, I don't agree with the,
Yeah, I'm going to jump in here with this. I'll talk to you soon.
okay, I don't agree with the burden that the immigration has, the illegal immigration has put upon Americans. We need to do something to put some sanity to that, but that doesn't mean that we need to hate them.
Gotcha. All right, well, take care.
You take care.
I'm with Infowars.com. Check us out.
It's misinformation. That's why they. That's why.
I like touching.
Hey. That's the way.
All right. So you think the future is in social justice? Tell me about your sign.
Well, I think that as we progress to a new future, the only way that we're going to be able to survive in this world is to be able to accept each other as brothers and not see a difference between us based upon our nationality or our race or our gender decisions, our choice about what kind of lifestyles we live. And we need to start looking to better, and we need that kind of future, because if we do not accept that, we're setting us on a path for endless conflict for the rest of our existence. So yeah.
Let me check this real quick.
Yeah, I moved closer to home.
All right, I was fixing my game. Do you think race relations are better or worse than they were maybe 10, 15 years ago?
I think that they've gotten worse since about 10 or 15 years ago because we have now sort of brought these things out into the open as more people come to speak up about race-related issues that might have been pushed aside or hidden by the media. And I think that this has caused a great deal of dissension. I know, and certainly in my family, I watched them become more and more ingrained in like their belief system as the news began to like make more coverage of the Black Lives Matter movement, and they began to be much more expressive about like their racial and racist opinions, and it was disturbing. And I think that it's actually something that is happening all across America, is people who might have been once considered in the silent majority or whatever, especially among like the dominant white Christian Caucasians, are basically becoming fed up with like the concept that people are asking for equal rights, and people are now demanding for equal rights, and now that has caused like a further eroding of race relations. I think that it's, though, important that America needs to recognize this, and that America needs to stamp this out, and Americans need to stamp this out.
So what about what happened at Emory University where people wrote on chalk and they said it freaked the students out? Do you think that's taking it a little too far, where, you know, if somebody expresses their opinion in writing and it may be if someone doesn't like it, but then they act like it's, you know, almost the end of the world? They said some of these kids had to go into safe centers and safe places.
I am not aware of the Emory University event, so I cannot commentate on those exact events. But I can say this, having been a homosexual person who lived in a family that did not accept it, and then lived in Arkansas for about 10 years. I'm in that community. I've received threats of violence. I've received threats against my person at my job place. I even was threatened physically by a manager who who came to discover that I was gay because I openly confessed it when someone was playing an anti-gay song on their radio. So with that experience, it's well, you know what? I kind of want a future where I have a space where I can feel that I belong, because I'm tired of living in a space where I don't feel that I belong.
And so, what candidate do you think will help you get to that point?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
You don't like Donald Trump. You don't like Donald Trump, but one of your supporters, this guy, took his hat. That's thuggery. He's a thug. Hey, and he threw his hat.
You know why?
His personal
you know why?
Because
This is the protest area. This is the protest area. You're agitating.
Okay.
You're not a protester. It's a protest area.
Hey, he took his hat.
He snatched it.
Protest area. We didn't go in your area.
And snatched it from my head.
You know, there's been people that went into the Donald Trump rally that
People
lost their
like you
hat.
are the reason why Donald Trump is getting so many votes.
He's not going
You
to win California.
understand that?
He's not going to win California.
When people see this on TV,
Hey, Donald
they
Trump.
see people like you.
Hold on, time out. Donald Trump isn't even running against anyone in California.
He's gonna get us all killed.
He's not. There's no one even he's against.
What does that have to do with
He's just
anything?
here. You guys are agitators.
What does that have to do
You
with
guys are
anything?
agitators.
Look at
We're
your
number
people
one,
throwing.
baby. We're
Look at
number
your
one
people
economy.
throwing stuff.
We're number one. Who is he running against?
Hey, people
who is he
who are
running against?
anti-Trump are savages.
Who is he running
Most
against?
of you are savages.
Who's he running
Most of you are
against?
savages. Bottom line. Most of you are savages. Most of you are savages. Look at this. Look what I incited. I feel like Donald Trump. I feel like Donald Trump.
You guys have zero facts.
I like Donald Trump. All right.
Right now, they're justifying killing children, and you're calling us savages. There was a guy right here who just snatched the "Make America Great Again" hat off my head. He ran in back of me, snatched it off my head, and ran off and threatened me. And he ran down here and he threw it down the bridge.
Hey, don't go to the protest area. You're agitating.
One of your own guys took his hat.
Yes,
He
he's the
didn't
protest.
take anything from you. We don't want anything from you.
You're arguing a breaking up. You're arguing a breaking up 11 million.
The people who support Trump mostly are savages.
You're arguing.
This is how they act. They cannot be civil. One of their own, who is anti-Trump, took my friend's hat and threw it over the wall. It's terrible.
You're agitators. You can get in the protest area. What are you over here for? These protests, man. Come on.
Okay, well, I do.
That's what makes America.
I'm trying to have a conversation. It's important how we get people, because the rest of the world is going to look at this. Hey, bro, it's just a hat. I can go get you one for the 99 cents store. It's just a hat. I can go get you one for the 99 cents.
Hey, you guys. Hey, is the illegal immigration new? Is that new? Illegal immigration Oh, okay. Well, tell this guy, is illegal immigration new? Is illegal immigration?
Why was his hat taken?
Why was his hat taken?
Why did this guy, why did he get his hat taken by somebody who dislikes Donald Trump?
Are you talking to the camera or are you talking to us? Are you talking to the camera or are you talking to us?
Why can't he walk around and have his personal property and not worry about it? Why?
Hey, who are you talking to?
Explain the Trump supporters.
Who are you talking to?
Explain that.
Oh, my people, who's my people?
All of your people. All of these people.
What about your people? What about all of your people? What about the people who are calling us racial slurs? What about the people who are holding Confederate flags?
Hey, listen,
what
listen,
about the people? What about the people who are attacking?
Listen.
Who are attacking the protesters?
Am I going to to be able to speak?
Bro, no. You have nothing to say.
People who are racist, people who are racist are disgusting.
He's an agitator.
People who are racist are disgusting. People who are racist
giving
are
him energy.
People who dislike Mexicans are disgusting.
Conversation, man.
I'm sorry.
Let's ignore him. He's an agitator.
Look at this. These are people who dislike Donald Trump right here.
These are people. I asked him to debate me earlier, and he was scared. I asked him to debate me earlier, and you were scared.
I can't even speak.
You're right. I asked you to debate
Okay,
me
do you want to
earlier, and you
debate
were
now?
very scared. Yeah, we can.
Okay, what do you want to debate about? Do you want to be civil and stop acting like a savage?
Oh, I'm a savage? You fucking...
Okay, because look how he's acting. Look how he's acting.
The moment you start assuming something, you know what happens? The moment you start assuming something about someone, you guys.
You are Uncle Tom, and that's why we can't fucking advertise with you. Yeah, you know exactly what the fuck Uncle Tom is. I'm letting you know that I don't care about your fucking rhetoric. So
I'm still voting for Donald Trump.
I don't really care who you vote for.
I'm still voting for Donald Trump, buddy.
No, I can agitate because he's fucking agitating.
I'm
So
still
what?
voting for Donald Trump.
I can agitate because I don't care about going to jail. I know, yeah.
You're upset.
I give a fuck. Yeah. Savage, Brian Gumble, ass nigga. Hey, you need to.
You're hilarious.
He gives you a drink.
Keep walking, buddy. Bye-bye. I will say this. Anybody who dislikes Mexicans based off of their ethnicity, or anybody off of their ethnicity, is disgusting. Racism is disgusting. Me, as an African-American man, I could not stomach myself voting for somebody who I felt was a racist. Donald Trump is not voted. He's not motivated by racism
Let me give
whatsoever.
you a story. Costa Mesa. The people started protesting in Costa Mesa. You know what the Trump supporters started chanting at the Mexican Americans? Send them back. They were just doing build a wall. Build a wall.
They were just doing that right
to
now.
Mexican Americans.
To
Mexican Americans.
They were just doing that right now.
Okay, now, no, I don't.
Look at all the people the soccer games where they're saying
you
have a really big mouth.
I do. That's
Let him
right.
talk.
You have a really big
Why
mouth.
don't you just hear what I'm saying?
Okay, now I have a question. I have a question for all of you. Was it right? Hold on. Okay. I have a question. Was it right for him to have his hat taken?
Totally not. No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. But was it right?
It's not right.
Was it right?
They affected both of us, and they're making us
But was it right?
Fuck that.
But was it right for the? Are you okay that the Confederate flag went up?
The Confederate flag is disgusting.
Okay.
I don't support
So
the
then
Confederate.
why?
Here, I'll explain. So we had an intellectual conversation.
And he's a Bernie Sanders supporter. He supports Bernie Sanders.
The difference between me and him is we both have a strong dislike for racism. But where we split is that when Trump calls out Mexicans for being rapists and criminals, and I assume some of them are good people.
Some of them.
Time out.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
And then, so that's where me being a white guy who is like almost white class, I got offended, but he did not. So he's willing to put that to side to look at other things like securing the border and having a strong financial economy. But it's just a matter of you're a person. I can't stomach that. It's like you're going on a date with someone. That's a deal breaker.
So let me just say one thing.
Because I don't feel that. That's
thing.
because I don't feel that Donald Trump has a personal motivation to incite hatred towards
Okay,
Mexicans.
time out. Who does the KKK support? Who does the KKK support? Bernie?
Hey,
Who do the white supremacists support?
You can't help who supports
Who do they support?
You can't help who supports you.
Wait. Hey, I've never liked someone that the
there's
KKK
racists
likes.
who support
I've
celebrities.
never liked someone that the KKK
You can't
likes.
help
You
this
are
is
with the
ridiculous.
KKK, bro.
This is ridiculous. You
You're with
cannot
the white
help.
supremacists and
You
the
cannot
skinheads.
help who supports you.
You are white with the
You
skinheads.
cannot control who
You're a
supports you.
fake skinhead, man.
The thing is this,
You're a wannabe
He's
skinhead.
pandering to
Hey,
racism.
hey.
Pandering to racism in this country. That's why the Confederate flag went up, and that's why nobody's telling you.
You cannot help
That
who
is
supports
why
you.
the KKK.
If you're a
with Donald
public
Trump.
figure, you cannot help who supports you.
That's not
Usually,
true. That's not
why
true.
do you have- usually you support like-minded individuals.
No, yeah,
Usually you
exactly.
support people that are on the same page as you.
And
Why are they
like
endorsing him?
individuals,
I mean,
Donald
like,
Trump
the
is
thing is, he's making these blanket,
small fish to
he's
fry.
Trump is
making
like-
these blanket
Oh.
generalizations.
To some point, I do agree that you can't control it. It's a
about
wash,
Muslims.
though. There's
He's
many
doing
other-
this, and
Trust me,
like,
Hey, there's a camera right here.
No, I totally
Can you
agree.
tell the people who are going to watch this, why do you dislike Donald Trump?
why do I dislike?
Politics.
I
tell you
dislike
why.
him.
I'll tell you why.
No, this is why.
No, no,
I'll
no.
tell you right now.
Me and you.
Because my great-grandfather fought in World War II to fight against fascism. And when someone's bringing fascist policies into the country, I think it's unacceptable.
That's an
this
opinion.
No, it's not. It's not. What's it's opinion that he's fascist. He's xenophobic. He's extremely xenophobic. He's extremely xenophobic. He's incredibly corporatist. I mean, like, how can, like, tell me what policy that he has is not fascist? I mean, like, the thing is like, the wall is fascist. His immigration policy is fascist. Hold on. His foreign policy, his war policy, just the act of saying, you know, we need to target family members of the terrorists. We need to target children in some cases. That's incredibly fascist. That's something that Hitler would say. That's ridiculous. Who name me one other politician who has advocated for killing a child? You know,
every single United States president.
No, they haven't. Tell me when Obama said. When did George Bush?
Do we go by
when did George Bush say that?
Actions?
No, I'm talking about what we're saying.
Many people. Obama has had many lives on his hands.
I'm talking about rhetoric. We can talk about Obama's foreign policy, and I don't agree with it. What I'm saying is that Obama has never been okay with, has never said that he's okay with killing Americans.
And he's never talked about his dick during a debate.
And also another thing, for someone to say, like, yeah, we should, it's completely fine to kill, civilians. It's completely fine to kill women who've done nothing, who do nothing wrong. And for people to come out and vote for that, that's scary. That is really scary for me as an American. I would never.
One thing, you say that Donald Trump is a fascist.
Yeah.
Donald Trump was not for the war in Iraq. Donald Trump is not for the Syrian invasion. Okay, he was not for the war in Libya, the invasion of Libya.
But he wants to get rid of the media.
No, okay, so he doesn't have those policies. But what part of his
war? Does that sound like a fascist to you? What sounds like a
fascist to me? Yes, it is. Yes,
hey, what are you here for?
What are you here for? What are you here for? Why are you in my face? Why are you in my face?
I want to be. I want to be.
Let me tell you.
You want to tell me something?
You don't need to tell me something,
I wish someone could come save me right now from you.
Right, well, nobody has to save you because you're a fucking white man who gets to do whatever he wants to in this space, right? Aren't you quite aware by holding that video camera on me that you are surrounded by your privilege, right? Take your privilege somewhere else, please.
Oh yeah! Hey, that sounds classic. Real classic.
You incestual piece of shit! You incestual piece of shit! Fucking power in America! Because white supremacy! White fucking
That's how we feel about Nazis.
That's how we feel about Nazis and colonialism!
There you go.
We bought this flag!
Hey, this flag
is property!
Genocide! This is a flag of occupation!
This is a flag of occupation! Colonialism! Genocide! Slavery! And we're gonna burn that shit! We're gonna burn what that shit symbolizes! Fuck that shit! This represents slavery! Colonialism! Genocide! Oppression! And it's all right to burn that shit!
Burn, baby, burn!
Burn, baby, burn! Burn that colonialism!
Burn, baby, burn! Burn, baby, burn!
Fuck colonialism! Fuck colonialism! Fuck genocide! Fuck slavery! That's what it stands for! Your ancestors were enslaved and that's what that stands for! Your ancestors were enslaved and that's what that stands for! What did you say?
What, do you want to bring up ISIS? ISIS has nothing to do with Islam. ISIS has everything to do with the U.S. imperialism. Who created ISIS?
Motherfucker! You look like an Uncle Tom, motherfucker! Your ancestors were taken here! Your ancestors were enslaved, you fucking idiot!
They pay all their taxes. think you are?
I'm an immigrant.
And?
Illegal
And?
immigrant. You understand the difference?
Yeah.
Y'all were the ones who came over here on ships, motherfucker. Your crackers came over here on ships, all diseased and shit, and coming over here saying, oh, this is all land. You're legal, you're alien.
No, you did because America does do. Yes, I do. Because, but I know you're a liar. You're a liar. Have mercy on those people in the desert.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Look at my face.
What? Go ahead. Go ahead. Punk ass.
Don't, guys, take a flowers.
What?
Don't let him get in your face. He's trying to do that because he's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, so are you, you fucking asshole. So are you. So fuck you. No, yes, I do. You paid for it. You paid for it. Don't lie to these people. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't you know it?
I know it.
Okay, explain it. Explain how you lie.
Everybody ready?
Explain how you lie.
Okay,
explain how you paid for it. He paid for it.
Stands for.
Okay, so what exactly does your sign mean, though? Love trumps hate.
Well, I feel like Donald Trump does a lot of things that could be construed as evil, and I don't like that. And obviously,
like, can you name one?
How about the video that was just released?
From 1995?
That was not 1995. That was
I'm sorry, 2005?
2005, not 1995.
Okay, well, so you don't talk about that with your friends, you know, when you're out?
No.
You've never said anything like that?
No, why would I?
Okay, well, this man is a perfectly good, honorable gentleman, so I admire that. So don't you think it's ironic, though, that there's all these people out here that hate Trump holding up a love Trump's hate sign?
What do you mean? Love Trump's hate.
Yeah, but you hate Trump.
Obviously, yeah, I don't like him.
So, but you're promoting love while you're hating a guy.
How can you support Trump? I just don't.
Because I want to save America, personally.
By how?
Well, you know, here's my thing. Here's my thing. How about this? How about this? Oh, my gosh. Here's the thing. There are bigger issues than Trump's rhetoric. Bill Clinton is a rapist, so if you vote for Hillary Clinton, you're putting a rapist in the White House again. But here's consensual. He settled multiple rape cases, sir. But here's my thing.
He's not running for president. I believe this is Hillary.
Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Hillary is running for
president. Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Hillary is running for president.
So is Bill not going to go to the White House then?
Bill will be in the White House, but Hillary...
So do you want a rapist in the White House?
Donald Trump would be in the White House if he won.
Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Hillary is running for president.
You're not answering the question. Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Bill is not a rapist.
Settled multiple rape cases.
Hillary is running for president. What do you not get about that?
Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Hillary is running for president.
Won't answer the question.
Why is this an issue about Bill? This is
well, you made it an issue about women. You made it an issue about women. So if you're going to call out Trump's rhetoric against women, why don't you call out Bill's actual rape?
Because Bill has nothing to do with this election. This is Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump.
Bill has nothing to do with this election. He's campaigning for Hillary. He's Hillary's wife.
We're not talking about Trump's wise. Go ahead. This should be about Trump's policies versus Hillary's policies. Yet, videos are being released that are showing what type of man Donald Trump is. Specifically, I'm referring to the video from 2005.
What do you think about the email leaks that show who Hillary really is?
I don't care. Hillary, listen, Donald Trump said on this video that he likes kissing pretty women and that...
You don't?
Sir, can I finish?
You like kissing ugly women?
Excuse me. Can I finish my statement, please? Thank you. I don't appreciate that either.
All right, well.
What I was saying was, Donald Trump said on the video, you can grab a woman by their pussy. Do you support that? Because you just said you support Donald Trump.
I support his policies.
But how can you say you support Donald Trump?
Hillary Clinton has said racist things, said she's called black people super predators. Why don't you talk about that? Email leaks have shown how Hillary Clinton has called her own supporters dumbasses.
Donald Trump said that Mexicans are rapists and murderers.
Never said that. Never said that. He said illegal immigrants, sir.
Illegal immigrants that are coming into the country are
That's
rapists
right.
and murderers.
Yes, there are dozens of cases, hundreds even, of illegal immigrants raping or murdering citizens. That's a fact.
I think there are more Americans raping and murdering people.
So just because rape happens, we should just let it go on in more abundance?
No, we shouldn't.
Well, that's your logic.
But Donald Trump is saying that all Mexicans are rapists and murderers.
Never said that. Literally never said that.
How can you generalize a population like that? How can
Hillary Clinton said half of Trump voters are deplorables, and he's sitting here quoting a quote that never even existed, never happened.
So why don't we talk about banning all Muslims from the country while we're at it?
Well, we are in a very... Do you think radical Islamic terror exists?
Yes.
Okay, so you wouldn't want a vetting process at all for people coming here from Muslim countries that hate our way of life?
Donald Trump said we should ban Muslims.
Didn't answer the question.
From entering the country.
Not forever, he said, until we figure out what's going on. Terrorist attacks have been happening in this country. Do you want to stop terrorism?
I would love to stop terrorism.
So don't you think we should maybe vet people coming from these areas?
How can you do that? That's stopping an entire race.
Are you aware that ISIS has said they will infiltrate the refugee program with militants? Are you aware of that?
No.
So does that change your mind?
No.
So you want ISIS here?
I really don't want ISIS here.
Yeah. I just tricked you, and that's what you said.
No, I don't want ISIS in our country.
Do you want to vet the refugees?
Entire Muslim.
Here's the thing. Donald Trump has. Here's a policy. Here's a policy. Donald Trump has proposed safe zones in these areas, so we don't just have to bring them here unvetted. What do you think about that?
I think that stopping an entire group of people, an entire race, sounds awfully familiar to.
Even if we're at war. Even if we're at war.
I don't know. That sounds a lot like 1945.
Have you ever read the Quran?
I have. No.
What do you think about what it says about women?
As a Muslim American, what do you think the Bible says about women?
I'm sorry, are there Christian terrorists killing people?
Yes, there are.
Really? Really? Oh, okay. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Hey. I want to tell you, I challenge anyone here, there's probably about 30 people, find me one story of someone saying praise Jesus and then killing someone. Find me one. Find me one. Find me one.
Somebody kills an abortion provider every single time. Someone kills an abortion provider every single time.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Shooting of the abortion clinic recently. Just because they don't say praise Jesus right before it, it is religiously motivated, as she said.
Okay, so
that's not the point.
So is anyone? So no one's gonna find. So no one's gonna find the story of someone yelling "Praise Jesus" and killing any because it doesn't exist. Okay, man, this is amazing. You guys are tolerant of terrorism. It's really a shocking thing. I don't understand it. You don't think Islam needs a reformation? Do you think Islam needs a reformation?
No, I think the Middle East needs a reformation. Okay, I agree that there is problems in the Middle East, and I agree that there's a problem with radicalization in Islam.
And I would even agree that it's mostly us to blame.
Okay, but the point is,
Hillary versus Trump. I don't like Hillary either. Is that what you want to hear? Like, I'm not.
Are you going to vote Hillary? No. Are you going to vote Hillary?
Of course.
Of course. You're proud of that?
Yes, I am.
So you want a rapist in the White House?
Hillary's not a rapist.
All right. Thank you guys. You guys have all been great. Here's the thing. I don't understand. They don't understand that Bill Clinton will move into the White House. It's like, I don't know. But here's the thing, folks. Everyone out here would agree that government has serious issues. Everybody here, even though we disagree with certain points from Trump, certain points from Hillary, we might disagree on those. But we would all agree that there's a very corrupt government, a very corrupt establishment that we're trying to buck. So the amazing thing to me is, we want change. Donald Trump is that change. Everything in the establishment is waging it against Trump. The mainstream news, the establishment politicians are all in against Donald Trump. So they want change, and then here's an actual man who's not a career politician, an actual change to the White House, and they completely reject it. But this is what you...
So are you ladies feminists? I suppose you could say that, yeah. And so what makes you guys empowered? Access to resources to actually make choices about my bodily autonomy and maintain my bodily autonomy. So like not shaving your armpits, is that empowering you? I don't like to shave my armpits, so I don't. That's it.
Yes, it's empowering to be able to make it.
Yeah.
Is there anything hair empowering for you?
Is there anything feminine about having your hair in your armpits?
I get to define what femininity is for me because I grew these breasts and I have this uterus and I made my child with it.
And you formed your child with it though, don't you?
What was that?
You were over here saying you're pro-abortion though.
I am. I'm pro-choice. I'm pretty sure they make decisions for themselves and that's what empowerment is.
I'm pretty sure you're allowed to be pro-choice and have children. You can also make a choice not to have sex.
So can you. Yeah. Don't reproduce. Then you won't have horrible children with your opinion.
I already have children and they're awesome.
So do I. And so is she.
You can't ask them those types of questions because they're in a state of healing. So you cannot ask them those types of questions. You gotta ask them questions that's relevant. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're in a state of healing. That's why they're out of the problem.
I can ask them whatever questions I
you
want.
can. can, but make sure you get what you're looking for, though.
Just like when you can ask whatever you want.
Right. Make sure you're getting what you're looking for.
Stand up, fight back!
You ain't getting sucker punched in the face.
Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back!
I have so much hatred for Donald Trump. So much hatred for Donald Trump.
You don't want to kill him, dude.
Fuck Donald Trump. I don't want to kill him, but I mean, I'll catch his face. I mean, gotta knock a nigga out real quick.
Sorry.
Deport Trump! Deport Trump! Deport Trump! Deport Trump! Deport Trump! Bigots to the left! Keep going!
This way! Xenophobia! Xenophobia this way!
Go! We are all immigrants! We're all immigrants! Remember where you guys came from! You guys did not find this country on your own! And little did he forget that his mother fucking fled here from another country! Little did he forget his mother was an immigrant as well as his father!
We are all children of immigrants!
Yes!
Fuck everybody. Fuck everybody. Fuck everybody. There we go.
Hey guys, it's Jacob Honeycutt. We're live on Facebook with a Trump supporter, Trump supporter and a Trump hater.
We don't hate anyone, sir. You absolutely do. You're talking about hate. Why is what we think is hate?
I'm not saying that I hate him. I am saying that he incites me.
How?
I'm saying that he hates Mexicans.
He didn't say he hates Mexicans. Did he ever say that?
When he was going to build a wall to keep them out.
Oh, that's right, because we don't belong in our, we don't have a right to defend our borders. You lock your doors at night? Well, why do you do that? You should open your doors at night.
Because I
want to
live
come
in the
and
city.
sleep on your couch. I don't care. I would like to come into your house and sleep on your couch.
Sir, what
I would
I'm
like to
trying
get
to
some
say.
food out of your fridge. Can you please leave your door open
Absolutely.
tonight? You will?
Absolutely.
You give me your address so
Just
I can get some
because,
food? I might be
you're
hungry.
voting for Trump.
I am
does not mean
unemployed. I am an
that I will
unemployed
not
veteran.
vote.
I would love some free food.
Absolutely.
I would love a place to sleep tonight.
What would you like? I'll
Just
look
give me
at
your
something.
address. Right.
I'm not giving you my address.
Why not?
Because I
But
don't
you can lock your
trust you. I
doors.
don't know you.
Well, then they don't know Mexicans that are coming across the border with drugs and stuff like that. So
I'm not
we can
denying
trust
that.
them.
I'm not denying that.
So you have no valid point whatsoever. What else has he preached about hate? When has he ever said I hate you? No? Nothing? Silence is good.
I'm not going to argue with someone.
It's not
but
arguing.
I'm not
it's
going
called
to change
debating.
your
So
opinion.
you have your ideas and I have
I am
my
not
ideas.
going to change your
In
opinion,
a free
sir.
society, I can spout off my ideas and then you come back
I
with
am
yours.
not going to change your opinion, sir.
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure out where he is, where it's taking. What's he said to take?
I am not trying to change your opinion, sir.
You're never going to. I'm just trying to figure out why you think it's
I am not trying to change your opinion.
Is that your go-to, Brian? That's just it?
I am not trying to change your opinion. You
That's
are
fine.
entitled to
I'm not
believe
trying
in
to
what
change
you would
yours.
like to.
You can be hateful all you want. I'm just trying to figure out
You
why.
are entitled to believe in what you want.
That's not. I'm just trying to figure out.
I didn't even say who I was voting for. Not once. I have been standing out here for 2 hours, and not once have I said who I was voting for.
I know that. I can tell that. I'm just asking what Trump has said that's hateful.
There are a lot of things that he said that's
Give
hateful.
two
Trump is a
examples.
vote for hate. I'm just wondering why you're trying to change our votes.
Because he's a racist.
How is he a racist? When has he ever said anything
The
like that?
KKK endorses.
What if I told you there's a
Hey,
picture
take a look at this, guys. We got a bus driving by that says Trump hates. Are you with him?
What if I told you the KKK was formed by the Democratic Party to stop Republicans?
I don't disagree with you.
Oh yes,
I never
but
said
Trump
that I was
endorses the
siding with the
KKK.
Democratic Party.
So what has he said?
I'm saying that Donald Trump stands for hate.
Okay, that's what you say, but can you prove it with facts? No?
Look at the news headlines.
This guy is perfect.
Look at the news headlines.
Look at the, oh right, I should believe
Look
the
at
mainstream
every
media.
single thing.
The left.
Okay, I agree with you on that one. I'll at least agree with you on that one.
Wow. Have you ever seen? You know who Tyler Durden is? Well, this conversation is over.
Have a good night, okay?
Hey, you know,
Have a good night. Be safe.
Can you tell live on Facebook why you don't support Donald Trump?
Because he's a racist.
Can you give two examples of why Donald Trump is a racist? What I thought.
0. What up, man?
Alright, those of you who are watching, we are live downtown at the Trump rally. There are thousands of people in line to see Donald. We're seeing quite a few protesters. As we get closer to the Midland Theater, we're going to see a lot more as we hear there are many in front of the theater. So we're going to go see that as soon as the line starts to move. I'm Jacob Honeycutt. We'll be back soon.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am. You're a first-time voter. Okay, you're a first-time voter. Who are you going to vote for?
I'm voting for Hillary Clinton.
Why?
Because I don't want my future to be in the hands of an ignorant person like Donald Trump.
All right, I'm going to give you some facts right now, okay? Hillary Clinton has a very close relationship with Robert Byrd and has even said that she admires Robert Byrd. Robert Byrd is a grand dragon of the KKK.
Okay, Donald Trump is a known racist.
What has he done that's racist?
What experience does he have? Yeah.
He's a very successful businessman. He's successful internationally in business. He knows the monetary system and international relations very well.
What does being a businessman have to do anything with being president?
Well, I think it's time to run this country like a business. We're $22 trillion in debt. If you want to have a future, we got to do something about that.
No, I don't want my future in the hands of Donald Trump.
But Hillary Clinton's okay?
Yes, Hillary Clinton's way more.
Do you realize there's a body count behind Hillary Clinton?
Hillary Clinton's way more qualified to be president than Donald Trump.
What qualifies Hillary Clinton?
She's been a senator of New York, Secretary of State, way more qualified than Donald Trump to be president.
Would you say the U.S. government has issues?
Yes, it does have issues. It can be better, but I don't think Donald Trump will make that.
So Hillary's been in office these whole times.
They're bringing horses and riot gear, so you guys probably need to say something.
All right. Who are you? Why do you want me to talk to a dildo?
Because the things that you're saying sound like it's at about the level that this man wants to ask you questions for.
Okay, but he's shoving a dildo in my face.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Microphone in our fucking face!
yeah, because we're doing a video. People. Okay, that's a big difference. Are you out here protesting?
No, get the fuck away from me!
Okay, see, and now we have people that come out here to protest, right? They come out here to protest and raise their voice, and then when they're provided a platform to get their point across, they cower. They cower. You know what people do? You know what ignorant people do in the face of challenging times? They cower. They cower. Unbelievable. 15 minutes of fame.
I have one thing to say.
What's that?
If you want a criminal in the presidential office, vote for Hillary Clinton.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. I don't want it. Thank you. That's nice. I don't want it, though. Thank you. Yes. All right, what are you doing here tonight?
I really wish that we were actually debating issues that could actually help.
My basic point was, this is all about freedom of speech, you know what I mean? When you can't actually hold a sign up without somebody else ripping it down. Nobody's over there ripping down the Mexican flag that I can see, you know what I mean? They're over there waving it proud, it's awesome. So here we are waving ours proud, and then what happens? You practically get beat up, you know what I mean? So I'm one sign down.
I'm right with you. We need freedom of speech there too. I'm Mexican, and I'm gonna vote for Trump. I voted for what's his name, Obama before.
Yeah.
I did a bad decision on that. So
how come?
Because I think he was a bad president.
So why do you support Trump? Tell us.
Because Trump's going to fight ISIS and finally get rid of them and fight them the way they're supposed to be fought. We're tired of being oppressed in the Middle East. Take your mask off! Obama doesn't care about us.
Build that wall! Build that wall! Build that wall! USA! 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 USA!
Trump is an American first and foremost. He's for America, that's good. He's not Hillary Clinton, that's awesome. He's not a communist, I like that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. I probably would rather to have a libertarian candidate, personally. But at this point in the game, we're looking at very slim options.
Insults, pussy, over here. That's hard. That's hard. That's hard. You're afraid just like Donald Trump is. I'm not afraid. That's hard. Let's work it out. Let's hug and work it out. Let's hug and work it out. You're afraid.
They're getting pepper sprayed by the police or other people?
By the protesters.
Wow.
By the Mexican protesters.
Build that wall!
fucking cop car? No! We gotta stand for what we fucking believe in and not do it this way. This way is just so disgusting. If this is what I look right now and if this is my fucking future, fuck no. You know what? I'd rather bust my ass like how my mom did coming to this fucking country. Fuck that shit. No.
So you're pro-Trump?
I'm against Trump. I'm against Trump. Yeah. But this isn't the way to do it.
But yeah, this is not the way to do it. You know, if you want to do it the right way, all we can do is easily talk. But there's so many people that are hotheads, they're just stubborn, and all they want to do is just pick a fight, yeah.
Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump, fuck Trump!
Tell me, why do you vote Trump as a Mexican then?
I separate myself from race and I just vote for what's right. And all these guys are just following what posts they see on Facebook. They don't listen to shit.
There's a curfews for minors. You need to go. You're a minor, you need to go home. Go to your parents.
What are the facts? Do you have something to prove it? Do you have something to back yourself up? Do you have your claim and your evidence? You know, it's fucking A-Trump because he said Mexicans are rapists. But what else? Why don't you like him? Is it because of the way he's gonna run the economy? Is it because of the way that he's saying about like all the immigration laws? No, you're just saying that because your friends are
I got pushed by that guy.
All those people over there that were just trying to pick a fight with the Trump supporters, they're dumb. You ask them, why are you anti-Trump? They're gonna tell you. They're gonna be like, oh, because he's stupid, because he's a bitch.
We didn't cross the border crossed us. We didn't cross the border crossed us.
I keep on yapping.
Say you're from, where was it?
Sweden.
Sweden, and apparently over there the open borders and everybody coming in, nobody has any respect, and it's pretty much illegal to be white now. And if you're a white male, then it's definitely illegal.
Yeah.
Illegally.
Do you think it's going to change? Are people waking up?
People are definitely waking up, but something's, I don't know, it doesn't look like one side's really convincing the other much at all. If anything, it's just getting more polarized. It kind of is, yeah. And at some point in the game, we have to stand up for ourselves, and we can't be overrun, and it's all, you know, being nice is kind of only goes so far before, you know, you don't have a country, you don't have a family, and it's over, Johnny. So, love Sweden, stay strong, stay in the game, we need you.
Go to the camps too, buddy. I'm above you. You'll go too. Yeah. You'll go too. You're gonna die too, buddy. Okay, baby. You're not the only one. Big baby. We're not the only one. Oh, big baby. We're not the only ones. Big baby. Oh, you're just mad, huh? See, that's how your politics fucking work. You're just a punk-ass child. Exactly, you're a fucking child. Get out of my face. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Might kiss you, buddy.
It's a kiss that hurts.
Man. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. Let him go. Look at you, Trump.
Just when we got Trump is the leader.
That's a common storm. Fuck Trump. Fuck Trump. I tackled the guy.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
He admitted at first. Well, no, he spit on a kid because the kid confronted him, and he spit on a kid. He started getting belligerent.
And he threw a tomato first, didn't he?
Right, and then he took off. Then I helped tackle him. And he's like, I didn't do anything. When the police came, he's like, somebody paid me to do it.
Federal government. It is all of us.
You're right. We the people.
Exactly.
You're
All of
right.
us. The
You're
federal
right.
government
We
is
the
the
people.
He's not going to help us.
Keep on.
He will not help us.
Hey, all he has to do is get out of the way.
We're all Pokemon. We're all Pokemon.
Hey, all we have to do is get the federal government out of our way. And
All we need is the federal government gone, but me saying this makes me an absolute target. But I'm against Trump completely and his ideals. It is not the person. It is the idea, the energy behind it.
You think so? You think it's negative?
It's not him.
Yeah?
It's not Trump. Trump's a terrible person for other reasons.
Why is everybody against him, though?
Everybody's against him because it's incorrect. Why do you let celebrities rule your life?
I'm not letting celebrities rule my
You're
life.
about to. You let actors rule everything
What do you
around
think Bernie Sanders is? He's
you
a
think?
celebrity.
Yeah, Bernie is.
So
He's
is
terrible. I don't want any of them. Right. Fuck this government. Fuck this government. Especially Trump, though. There's something about your mind that's wrong, and you're incorrect. And I'm telling you, you are wrong. This is coming from the people.
I hear you.
This is coming from the people. I'm not the only one.
You'll see when it happens. It's not going to be as bad as you think.
Oh no, it is bad. No. It's still bad. It's never good, but it's never bad. You know what I mean? It's never been great. You're all falsities.
Well, then, where are you
You're
going
all
to...
falsities.
Why don't you go live somewhere where it's better?
Why don't I go somewhere that listens? I would love to. You want to get paid for that? You want to pay for me to get the fuck out of this shithole?
No, you should.
Fuck
You
this
should
place.
do it yourself.
Fuck this place. I do pay for myself to live. I still stay here. I abide by all of your rules, but you are all incorrect. You are all wrong.
I'm a Bernie supporter. Give me some money.
I don't like Bernie. I don't like people. I think you're all bacteria waste and you should all be eliminated.
Freedom of speech.
Check out that
There
dude's
it
shirt.
is.
Check out that dude's shirt.
Yeah, what's it say? Oh, yeah, sickle and hammer.
One person speaks up against your shitty ass fucking adversary, and boom, you all shut the fuck up. See what happens? You're fucking wrong.
You think so?
You're wrong.
Trump! 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 Trump!
Vote for elitists. Vote for Trump. Vote for America.
Yeah? You think that's what it's all about? He's spending his own money.
Who got bailed out? Trump got bailed out. Wall Street.
Hey, if communism's so great, why don't you go live somewhere like North Korea?
Why don't you shut up?
Okay. That's all you got to say? I mean, if communism's so great, go where there's communism.
So you agree America's a capitalist country?
Yeah, I think capitalism's a lot better than communism.
I don't think all the poor people disagree.
Really?
No. That's all I got to say, buddy boy.
That's all you got to say?
Enjoy it. George Soros paid me to be there. I'll put that on camera.
I definitely will. Did he give you that bucket?
Without George Soros, I would be at home in my mansion that he pays for.
George Soros gave me this tattoo.
George Soros paid for that tattoo. Paid for it.
You know
All
what?
have to do is-
You actually are. He funds groups. He funds groups that trickle down to you guys. You guys, it's all part of trickle down economics.
I really don't think you understand. Okay, so George Soros says one free solidarity tattoo for each time you pledge your allegiance to the globalist lizard people. The globalist lizard people, they told me. I mean, I took my face mask off at this point, so whatever. Yeah, the globalist lizard people, they pay me. Did you know George Soros and Obama and Bush? But I have the real secret for you. Trump's a lizard person also. Sorry about your microphone.
You were the guy who cried when you saw my InfoWars shirt on the video.
Dude, I was laughing.
You were crying.
I'm pretty sure.
InfoWars.
Go to your seat. 76 million that were killed by China, that's why. How about all the people that
How many people does communism kill?
Like, at least 80 trillion. Like 800 trillion, billion, million, trillion, billion, billion.
So you think that's good?
Billion, trillion, billion, trillion, million, billion, billion, trillion, billion, trillion, quintillion, trillion, billion, million, trillion, trillion.
Are you looking forward to the purge?
Quintillion, million, trillion, billion, quintillion, billion, trillion. Wait, am I missing a quintillion? Oh, sorry.
You missed at least like 3 zeros.
Okay, sorry. Quintillion, quintillion, trillion, billion people. That's roughly how many. Okay, but the bottom line is George Soros paid me. But here's the real secret. George Soros is actually Donald Trump, and they're both lizard people.
You know what's going on in Venezuela right now? The poor people are getting screwed too.
Oh my gosh, you named a country. Good work. I bet you can't put it on a map.
I bet you I can.
Wait, I think I can name another country where poor people are getting screwed. America.
Canada?
There's a few things I like to say. Listen,
Sure, go ahead.
here's the problem with Trump that we have in this country right now. If we vote for Trump, we might as well vote for Saddam Hussein. We might as well vote for Adolf Hitler. Here's why. Trump, number one.
Trump hasn't killed anyone.
Wrong answer. See, Trump, number one, he's a failure as a businessman. Number one. Number two, he's inciting race riots at his own events. I mean,
that people are paying for.
Right, but I mean, so now do we want a dictatorship? I mean, so would you pay for a dictatorship?
No, I don't think Trump wants to be a dictator.
I think he does. I think
he wants to free the economic reins that are holding everybody down, and then you're going to see prosperity with everybody. Just watch.
But let me ask you a question. Is he not part of that same economic reins that are holding us down when he himself does not pay higher taxes than all of us? I mean, there are poor people out here that he's not paying higher taxes than.
I think Bernie Sanders paid 13% in his taxes.
Oh, I agree.
He made to over 200,000.
I don't think Bernie Sanders is the answer either. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I just don't think that we should be looking to Trump franchise. I think we should go somewhere else. Maybe.
I think the reason people are liking Trump and Bernie is because the system hates both of them.
Well, absolutely, because the system is upside down right now, and I think the system, you know, if you get Trump, you're getting the lesser of the two evils. If you get Bernie Sanders, how do you know he's going to be president? Remember, he's president in 4 years at that point. I mean, as old as he is, you know. And Hillary Clinton, absolutely not. You know, we don't need a woman running this country for so many reasons that we don't even have to go into right now. Main reason is I wouldn't want her on the button if she had her time of the month. I'm sorry, I don't trust her, you know. But I think the main issue I have with Trump is that he doesn't understand foreign policy. If he understood foreign policy, I'd have no problem with at least considering him. But when you have people that want to bomb you, and then you have a president that doesn't understand foreign concepts or foreign countries, or even foreign policy itself, then what are you supposed to do? How do you protect yourself if you don't understand something?
Right. Why do you think these guys are trying to shut down free speech and people talking like this, like what we're doing?
Well, because I think everybody's always wanted to have their own rights and their own opinions. But they don't care about everybody else's sometimes, and I think that's why they want to shut us down. You know, they don't care about your voice as long as their voice gets heard.
Movement. There's no way out. Look, they closed off the exits.
Yeah, but there are police over there.
The Black Box Coalition over here is looking for their chance to hit somebody. They just spit on somebody. This is on Facebook, on Alex Jones's Facebook right now. This stuff, yeah. So, and then I've got other videos that'll be going up.
Joe's got my card if you need it.
All right.
We don't want to be these people shutting down business.
Where do you want to go?
Go back to our corner.
We don't want to end up being those people.
Right.
And making up being a burden.
Where's the closest park nearby? I think we're going to go to a park around here. Do you know where we're going?
Wait, what's that?
I think we're going to take off and go to a park because they're about to open up a theater event.
Oh, okay. All right, we can move. Sure, I don't really know what's going on.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Thank you. Good job, man. I follow you all the time. My kids.
All right, you got the kids out here.
Tell Alex, man, he's doing a good job.
You're a fucking joke.
And this noise,
I know.
that's what brought me out.
You know what I mean?
That's what brought us out.
Really?
I want them to make noise. The more noise they make, the more of us are going to come out, man. That's it. Because
They're taking the First Amendment right away from a college student.
Right.
That pissed me off so bad. It's like, you know what?
It's a place where they're supposed to learn about government and freedom of speech in the Bill of Rights. They don't learn in high school.
We just finished Animal Farm.
Yeah.
And we're reading 1984 now. Yeah. And they're looking at this, they're like, okay, I got it. They know exactly who. Yeah, it's great, man. Good job.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do that again, or I'll go get one of those cop cars and bring them down there. That's what you will do. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
That's an interesting sign. A coward is incapable of exhibiting love and is the prerogative of the brave. Yeah. There you go. How long have you guys been out here?
I've been here since 5:45.
This morning?
Yep.
Wow.
It was dark.
It's dark and cold.
Yep.
And so, I guess, what are your main reasons for being out here?
We just want to be a symbol of solidarity and say to all those who feel isolated or attacked by the words of Donald Trump that we're here for them, and those are not the values that we adhere to on this campus.
So you go to school here?
Yes, I'm a senior.
Was there a lot of outcry when he decided to come here? I mean, I know he just announced it last week, but what are the students on campus saying?
It was pretty controversial. Social media lit up. We actually only found out Monday night at about 10:30 p.m. and so there really wasn't a whole lot of time to react. I know that some people were calling for it to be canceled, while others were saying, well, I don't like it, but he should be able to speak, while others were excited to hear him speak. But this is our response, just saying, you know, we recognize that his words are hurtful and dangerous, and we wanted to spread words of peace instead.
Okay. What about the violence at some of the Trump rallies? People are saying it's Trump's fault. I mean, what's your opinion on that?
You know, I haven't been at any of those. Okay. I understand that with the words that he is spreading, there is a dangerous underlying message, and so I can't say that they're his fault or that things were provoked by protesters, but that is a main reason why we chose to have a silent sitting protest, because we didn't want to incite any kind of conflict. We didn't want to endanger the people going to the event or ourselves or the campus community. We just wanted to have our message heard in a peaceful, mature manner.
Okay, yeah, yesterday it was a lot louder, a lot more chanting, a lot more people too. How big's the school here?
We've got, I think we always hover about 2,000 students, and our students have been coming and going. There have been faculty and community members as well, but being that it's a morning in the weekday, some have class, some have their jobs to go to, others have other obligations, and so we've had kind of a steady stream coming and going throughout the day.
Speaking of jobs, you're a senior. What are you doing? Are you going to be able to find employment when you get out, do you think, or what are the odds? How's it looking?
Things are looking good. I had a phone interview yesterday in the midst of planning everything. I've got a couple of prospects, and I'm open to other opportunities as well.
What'd you major in?
I'm a business and marketing major.
All right. So, being a business and marketing major, what do you think of the work that Donald Trump has done in the business world?
You know, I'm not the biggest fan of his, of anything he's done. I understand that some of the things like the university have been overpromised and underdelivered. I never was a fan of The Apprentice. I just don't like his approach to things. He's very much a bully, and so I prefer to operate with a higher level of integrity.
Excuse me, sir. Can I see your sign? Trump hates women. So, explain that to me.
Very easy here. I mean, there's a 20-year history of verifiable quotes he's put in books. He says terrible things about women. Here, take that.
Okay, but you think he hates women?
I do. You don't say the things that he does when a respected national news personality that a lot of Republicans appreciate calls him on his misogyny, and he says it's because of her period. It's really sad.
Well, I mean, I'll say he's not very politically correct, but
It's not politically correct.
I mean, I'm sorry his speech offended you.
Oh, he's not offended me.
Well, you're out here protesting, saying he hates women, so he obviously offended you.
My daughter, he's offended my fiance,
He's offended you too. How did Donald Trump offend you?
Oh, because he called women fat.
So are you offended by all media that says things about women?
It depends what they say.
He said that to you? Donald Trump said you were a pig?
I'll tell you really right now because we're awesome.
Huh? Well, look, I just think that these are lies and false narratives against Donald Trump as a candidate, and it's meant to keep him out of the office, and it's not fair.
They're actually not lies at all.
How can you really think that Donald Trump?
You know what he said?
No.
He likes the line in.
Okay, so Hillary Clinton has said many things that are bad about black people and all kinds of people. But
What does that have to do with this?
well, I'm just saying, if you want to sit out here and protest, people for their speech, but why don't you protest against Hillary? Why do you only protest Trump? It's because how he's conditioned. It's because it's how you're conditioned. This is how people are conditioned by the media to hate Donald Trump. Let me ask you a question, ladies. Did you have a problem with Donald Trump before he was running for office?
Yeah, I never liked him, actually.
Really?
Yeah, really.
How did you display that? What did you do to protest Donald Trump?
I didn't have to protest him. He wasn't running for president of the United States.
Oh, and that's how the media and the establishment have treated it too. Where did my sign guy go?
All of our military families live that way.
Okay, the military supports Donald Trump, but that's fine.
Yeah, military supports right.
Hey, where did my sign guy go? He ran away. Oh, wait, I'm going to go get him. We're not letting this guy get away. I at least want to make him look how dumb he really is. Hey. Why'd you walk away from me, man? You didn't want to talk to me, did you? You were afraid I'd school you.
No, you just kind of ran.
Well, I mean, you're out here holding up a sign, so I'm just engaging.
I know, but it's fine.
I'm just engaging in political discourse. So you really think Donald Trump hates women when he's had women campaigning with him? He has women that opens up his rallies. He has put women in very powerful positions at his companies. He's married multiple women. His daughters look up to him. You think he hates women? You think he hates women? He's walking away. This is awesome. He's walking away. This man, hey, look, Donald Trump maybe hates women, maybe he doesn't, but you, sir, are not very intellectual, okay? You're out here protesting Donald Trump. You're out here buying into the conditioning that the mainstream media and the establishment wants you to do. So you're out here protesting Trump, and when I challenge you on your stances, you walk away. You walk away. So you really think Donald Trump hates women, even though many women have come out and praised him, and he puts women in positions of power? Do you really think he hates women?
He has a long history of documenting.
You just keep saying the same thing over and over. Here, he made a nice little list here. How long did it take you to find that list?
These are Boris statements. We're talking about hating women would be like women aren't smart enough to
Are you okay with him blaming Megyn Kelly's question on her period?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Listen to this little coward. Oh!
Let him talk if I may say.
All around and harassed some women that Bill Clinton raped.
Exactly.
And they had to sell out of court.
Bill Clinton is a rapist. He's
Bill
not
Clinton
just
paid $800,000 to
we're friends.
But this man's protesting Trump because that's the programming.
How about when Hillary called Monica Lewinsky a bimbo?
Keep going.
No.
Well, why don't you protest Hillary and Bill?
He's a rapist. And, I mean, since Oxford, since he was at Oxford when he was a Rhodes Scholar, he raped all those women, and she harasses them and destroys them. I mean, you must believe the woman.
It's a fact.
I
just want to know why you're protesting Donald Trump, but not Hillary or Bill Clinton.
All those women have come forth. Do you believe Bill Clinton?
Because he's programmed, but he can't admit it.
So those women are lying, including Beverly Johnson, the model, and all those people.
Why can't you walk around with this sign?
No one's stopping him from walking around with a sign. If you walk around with a sign like this at the Republican National Convention, you're bound to engage in discourse. I mean, right? I mean, is this absurd, or am I?
Well, what is this about surrounding him?
You're right.
What are you talking about? He's out here protesting. This is what he wants.
There's no threat.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
See, these people just hate media. Hold on. You guys aren't surrounding him to have an argument. You guys are creating a dance circle for your boy.
Yeah.
This guy, he's been doing this all day. I don't know.
Open dialogue.
He's kind of funny. Hey, do you have any political beliefs, sir?
No, sir. I just got love in my heart.
Yeah.
Are you going to vote?
Yes, sir.
Who are you going to vote for?
For Hillary.
So, do you?
He likes rapists. He likes rape.
Hold on. Huh?
He likes rape. He likes
Hold on. Why is the first thing rape? And why do I hate women?
Yeah, it's assassination to Bill Cosby-style rapists.
No, you can't liken the two because they both have Bill as their first name. What are you talking about?
Bill Clinton hangs out. Bill Clinton hangs out with known pedophiles. All right, this guy is just a joke. Yeah, hey guys, this is a Hillary Clinton supporter. He has no intellect. He just dances in the streets.
This is Hillary right here.
There it is, folks. This is what's going to save America. America's going down the drain, and this guy wants to dance in the streets and vote for Hillary. That's going to solve anything. I also want to point out, I think that the hey, wait a second. I think that the Trump hates women sign guy left again. For the third time, he avoids confrontation. He walks around with a sign against Donald Trump, and then he runs away anytime someone wants to challenge him on that sign. That is an ultimate coward. I'm going to see if I can find this guy. He's gone.
All right. So you think the future is in social justice? Tell me about your sign.
Well, I think that as we progress to a new future, the only way that we're going to be able to survive in this world is to be able to accept each other as brothers and not see a difference between us based upon our nationality or our race or our gender decisions, our choice about what kind of lifestyles we live. And we need to start looking to better, and we need that kind of future, because if we do not accept that, we're setting us on a path for endless conflict for the rest of our existence. So yeah.
Let me check this real quick.
Yeah, I moved closer to home.
All right, I was fixing my game. Do you think race relations are better or worse than they were maybe 10, 15 years ago?
I think that they've gotten worse since about 10 or 15 years ago, because we have now sort of brought these things out into the open as more people come to speak up about race-related issues that might have been pushed aside or hidden by the media. And I think that this has caused a great deal of dissension. I know, and certainly in my family, I watched them become more and more ingrained in their belief system as the news began to make more coverage of the Black Lives Matter movement, and they began to be much more expressive about their racial and racist opinions, and it was disturbing. And I think that it's actually something that is happening all across America, is people who might have been once considered in the silent majority or whatever, especially among the dominant white Christian Caucasians, are basically becoming fed up with the concept that people are asking for equal rights, and people are now demanding for equal rights, and now that has caused a further eroding of race relations. I think that it's, though, important that America needs to recognize this, and that America needs to stamp this out, and Americans need to stamp this out.
So what about what happened at Emory University, where people wrote on chalk and they said it freaked the students out? Do you think that's taking it a little too far, where they like working for them? I'm afraid of ghosts.
Blowing in the wind by Bob Dylan. We gotta stop this racist asshole Trump.
What's up, Easter Bunny? Dada's for Bernie. All right. Got a definite art movement going on here. Oh, you got more. I think the Ben Franklin was the postmaster general. I think the post office could use a little meth, get things going a little faster, I think. All right, so tell me, what do you prefer in your safe space, puppies or kittens?
Kittens.
You prefer kittens? All right. What about you? Puppies or kittens in your safe space?
Kittens.
Kittens? 2 for kittens. All right. That's pretty good. All right. What do you prefer in your safe space, puppies or kittens?
Both.
You like both?
Yeah, both.
You know, either way. What about you?
Both. If I can have both, yeah. That's the way to go. Puppies and kittens, man.
All right. Thanks a lot. So I think you're not quite in the market over here.
Oh, I'm in the market here.
Yeah.
I'm in the right place.
I think you need about 10 feet that way.
Oh, no. I'm good right here. Prime location.
How's business been?
It's marginal. It's hit and miss.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I see you got some good stuff. You got the Don't Tread on Me flag.
Of course.
You got a lot of Make America Great Again.
That's
stuff.
for everybody.
How many events have you been to?
Probably about 10.
10?
Yeah.
And in terms of crowds versus protesters, how does this rate?
This is actually the...
You know, if somebody expresses their opinion in writing, and it may be if someone doesn't like it, but then they act like it's, you know, almost the end of the world. They said some of these kids had to go into safe centers and safe places.
I am not aware of the Emory University event, so I cannot commentate on those exact events, but I can say this. Having been like a homosexual person who lived in a family that did not accept it, and then lived in Arkansas for about 10 years, I'm in that community. I've received like threats of violence. I've received like threats against my person at my job place. I even was threatened physically by a manager who came to discover that I was gay because I openly confessed it when someone was playing an anti-gay song on their radio. So with that experience, it's like, well, you know what? I kind of want a future where I have a space where I can feel like that I belong, because I'm tired of living in a space where I don't feel like that I belong.
And so, what candidate do you think will help you get to that point?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
You don't like Donald Trump. You don't like Donald Trump, but one of your supporters, this guy, took his hat. That's thuggery. He's a thug.
Hey,
and he threw his hat.
You know why?
His personal
You know why?
property.
Because
He
this is
threw
the
it over the
protest
wall.
area. This is the protest area. You're
have to do?
agitated.
Okay,
You're not a protester. It's a protest
Hey, he took his hat.
He snatched it.
Protest
He
area.
ran
We
up
didn't
and
go in your
grabbed me
area.
and snatched it from my head.
You know, there's been people that went into a Donald Trump rally that
People
lost
like
their hat.
you are the reason why Donald Trump
Why?
is getting so many votes.
He's not going
You
to win California.
understand that?
He's not going to win California.
When people see this on TV,
Hey, Donald
they
Trump.
see people like you.
Hold on, time out. Donald Trump isn't even running against anyone in California.
He's gonna get us all killed.
He's not. There's no one even. He's against.
What does that have to do with
He's
anything?
just here. You guys are agitators.
What does that have to do
You
with
guys are
anything?
agitators.
Look at
We're
your
number
people
one,
throwing.
baby. We're number one
People
economy.
throwing stuff.
We're number one. Who is he running against?
Hey, people
Who is he
who are
running against?
anti-Trump are savages.
Who is he running
Most
against?
of you are savages.
Who's he running
Most of you are
against?
savages. Bottom line. Most of you are savages.
First one I've been to that had protesters. I took a couple weeks off, and it just started.
So yeah, you missed. I guess the protest started kicking off in St. Louis.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't there. My boss was there. I didn't go. Yeah, I'm not real big on that.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Have a good one. So tell me about your sign.
My sign is how Donald Trump expresses himself with hate against not only blacks, but varying religious groups, women, and he needs to be constructive, and he isn't. And I think it's because he's uninformed. He uses generalities instead of specifics about his policies, and I think he's very dangerous. You know, history does repeat itself. History does, and his ways of stirring up people's emotions is so similar to Hitler's. I'm terrified. I'm 70 years old, and I'm close in time to the Second World War. Unfortunately, there's too many people who've forgotten. Too many people who've forgotten.
So are you happy with the current status quo of what's going on in our country?
I think it's improved from when we were in the Iraqi war. I think there's some improvement economically, and I'm not happy with the racism that's coming up with the police, how that's been allowed. But I think if we go with Trump, we'll be going in down a very, very scary road, where we really physically have to protect ourselves. I felt intimidated coming here today. I was here as a protester in the Bush rally in 2004, and I wasn't afraid. I disagreed with him, but I wasn't afraid. There's so much hate that I'm actually afraid today.
So you're seeing hate from these people over here?
No, hate from, I've seen on TV how the Trump police escort, or Trump, whatever they're called, punch people out just because they disagree. And that's so wrong. It's so wrong. I should be able to say, hey, you guys, this is what I think. And I can't, because I'm afraid. Now multiply that, if he gets into the White House, how people will really feel and how they'll really be. I know I sound like I'm soap operating, but I'm telling you the truth. He scares me.
Well, what I'm seeing also is from the left, people are saying, well, if you don't agree with us, then you're also racist and you're also this and that. And that to me also seems a little hateful and intolerant.
No, I'm not saying, I'm saying that everybody should be able to practice their religions, their faiths. I don't agree with all of the, I don't agree with the,
Yeah, I'm going to jump in here with this. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, I don't agree with the burden that the immigration has, the illegal immigration has put upon Americans. We need to do something to put some sanity to that, but that doesn't mean that we need to hate them.
Gotcha. All right, well, take care.
You take care.
Right. I'm with Infowars.com. Check us out.
It's misinformation. That's why they. That's why.
I like touching.